Hey, it's Karlie.
Hey, it's Shamina.
And we're
Emotional.
woo woo. So let's thank our patrons. We got Joanne Stewart, Kevin Gallagher, and Therese Gallagher. Thank you guys.
Thank you, thank you.
Um, and then me and Shamina decided that today we're gonna talk about V-Day. So we're gonna kind of talk about like our past experience. Look at her go, 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 go. We're gonna talk about our past experiences with Valentine's Day, our thoughts on Valentine's Day, society's thoughts on Valentine's Day, etc., etc. Whatever comes into our brains, but it's gonna be all V-Day.
All the love.
No. um,
Carly
all
said
the
her tongue out for anybody who can't see her.
all the love, all the love.
So,
You
what's
ready?
the emotion ball?
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's do it.
Are you
So as I was talking, a memory popped into my head.
Mm-hmm.
I remember college, sophomore year. I was living in Avalon, and how do I explain her? My Chick-fil-A acquaintance friend that became my roomie. Was our roommate. Duh. At this time, she had like recently broke up with her like high school boyfriend. She's a year younger than me, and we made Valentine Day plans. We literally made like 12 or 24 cupcakes and just stuffed our face with cupcakes. And she legit ate like 6 cupcakes, I feel like I remember. And we watched Scandal, I want to say. Or no, did we watch? She wanted to watch like a Medea movie, and I was just like, I don't really find that funny. And she was like, what? It's hilarious. That's just, I didn't find it funny, but that was just a memory that popped into my head that I chuckled about when I was talking about what we were going to discuss. Do you have any memories for V-Day?
You know what I remember? And I was just talking with a client about this. They're like, kids in elementary school, they ask people to be their Valentines like way early. And this is what came to mind. Do you remember in elementary school, we'd make those little like mailboxes for people?
I went to Catholic school, so.
Don't you celebrate the holidays in Catholic school?
Yeah, but we do it a little different.
Oh my God. Anyways. No, I did forget about that until you mentioned it, honestly. You never did that for Valentine's Day, so I gotta explain even more.
No, finish your story.
So like you'd make it's like a little mailbox and it has a slit in it. So that way it's kind of like trick-or-treating, but you put Valentine's in it and you like go around the classroom, and then you'd always get like the theme Valentine's Day. What the hell were they called? Cards?
Valentine's Day cards.
And I remember because it was like such a big thing to like pick what theme you want, and then you'd go through and it's like your best friend would get a specific kind, your crush would get like a specific kind, people you didn't like, they'd get like the like the just basic kind or whatever, no like meaning behind it. And then you'd put the little, I feel like they always had like stickers on them to like close it, and you'd like put a little sticker on the edge of it and close it, and then you dump it in the little thing.
I mean, we had similar situation at my school, but we didn't do the mailbox. We just had we would have like 15 minutes set to the side, because I think so. I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade, and we didn't like change classes. Like we had one class, and that's how, and like from kindergarten to 5th grade, we stayed in that classroom all day unless it was like to go to a special. And then like middle school, we kind of moved from class to class. So we didn't have like the mailbox, but it would be like 15 minutes at like the end of the day or before lunch, and we could go around and give our Valentine's Day cards. And I remember though, like the day before or whatever, going to the store with my mom, and like we each get to pick out some, and like you would attach candy to it, and like you said, I forgot about that one until you brought it up. I forgot like that I would do that, but
go back to the OG. That's when it began, and then everybody would bring in like snacks. You'd have a party, everything, and those were the days. Like, why can't it be that easy when we get older?
I know. Why can't we just give everyone Valentine's Day? I think my parents are always just my Valentine. Like they always get me, you know, because if I'm being honest, I don't think I've ever had a Valentine.
Well, my mom used to, you remember in high school when the French club would give out carnations, you could buy like a carnation and they would deliver it on Valentine's Day. My mom, for all 4 years of high school, always bought me flowers. And I was like, ooh, who are these from? And then, love, mom.
That's a real MVP though.
It was nice. I thought it was sweet. I would never be flowerless because my mom would buy me a flower. Well, she bought me a fat stack, so.
Yeah, for the most part, I think that we can rely on our parents to make us feel that love, like me and you know. But yeah, I think Valentine, like even now, me and my one friend were like, are we gonna get together on Monday? We're just gonna order some food and have a Galentine's. And I feel like that's usually what I do for Valentine's Day. Because you know what?
Is this your first single Valentine's in 5 years, 6 years?
Technically, last year I was single, technically. I remember, it's funny.
Oh, I do remember last year because I showed, yeah, last year I surprised, you're like, when are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
And then I showed up, I bought you balloons, I think I got you some flowers, and I think I got you a cupcake and a card too.
I was gonna say, you did get me a card because I remember we were talking or something, and we were talking about love language, and I told you that words of affirmation was mine, so you wrote me like a cute little note. And then I remember, I don't know if you were there later that night when I was hanging out, but I just started randomly crying, and my brother was like, what? Are you okay? And then to make me feel better, he gave me a clementine. He's like, here, you want a clementine? I was like, sure. but he was like, why is she crying? And my mom was like, she's just sad right now. But he's like, what the hell happened?
This is animal that's crying here.
Oh, it was, and then his just, here's a clementine. Like that was, you know, the little like peace offering, like feel better, eat a clementine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, like trying to think. We should just why do we have to focus one day?
That's what I'm saying. I don't really do Valentine's Day. We don't like.
I was gonna say, I feel like you've never really like celebrated Valentine's Day.
No, I think it's like commercialized, and you know, everybody makes. I'm interested. You know what I'm more interested to see this year is we got the Super Bowl on Sunday, and then Valentine's Day is the next day. So people about to go broke.
Well, so this is the real key. Celebrate Valentine's Day on the 15th. Everything's 90% off. Funny story, my mom's birthday is the 15th. So my dad always gets her flowers, and he always gets flowers for mad cheap, and he always gets her chocolates. He gives it to her the day after because it's her birthday, and he gets it for like $5 compared to like the normal $20 that they charge you or whatever. It says he's being a smart shopper.
Your dad coming in clutch with the procrastination.
Oh yeah, because he'll usually wake up like the morning of her birthday and be like, I gotta go to the grocery store real quick. And goes. It's like a tradition at this point.
Basically.
I was gonna say something about Valentine's Day. If you celebrated Valentine's Day, how would you celebrate? Like, would you do the usual, like, the dinner reservation, cutesy, or would you how would you do it?
That's a good question.
Oh, I have an even better question. Answer though. Answer.
I think if I was planning something, we'd go out to eat. If my partner was planning something, he would cook.
So it's funny that you say that because I was just going to ask. I feel like Valentine's Day is almost like it puts a lot of pressure on the men, or it puts a lot of pressure on at least one person in that relationship. Typically in a hetero, it's the male. And I feel like then the other partner is like, this is your way to prove to me what you mean to me, or what I mean to you. And I feel like it could potentially cause like a lot of issues because I don't know. I will say that, like, I think because I've never had a Valentine, I kind of would like want something, but at the same time, if my partner the rest of the year is doing the bare minimum and then they happen to do something on that day, I would rather throughout the year get more from my partner and then us be like, oh no, we don't really need to celebrate today. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think it kind of aligns with what you were saying of like it's very commercialized. And I feel like Valentine's Day, there's all these high expectations. And then and it's funny because now that I'm thinking and like the wheels are turning, it almost, you have all these high expectations to a point where your expectation will never get met. But then when something like, even going back to high school, if you didn't get a rose, it was like devastating. Like, no one cares about me. And it's just unfortunate because, so me going back to saying I've never really felt like I've had a Valentine's Day, even when I was in a relationship, it was like I had to be like, can you get me like a stuffed animal? Like, it does kind of suck because the way society sets Valentine's Day up, that it's like, dang, like, I want a teddy bear,
Well, I think it's almost like this messaging of, if you aren't in a relationship, there's something wrong with you. Or like, this day is going to be really bad. You're going to feel so lonely and isolated. And that's just not cool, man. Just not cool.
I agree. And I think that's why, like, I try to do the Galentines, but I was thinking about it like coming up, and I feel like I'm not putting a lot of thought into it, obviously. But yeah, it is unfortunate, and I think it's sad because there are some people who that stuff really does matter. And if they don't have someone, it like you said, it could be a horrible day just because they didn't get a surprise or whatever it was. And I feel like I felt that even like when I was in a relationship, like I knew my partner wouldn't do that, but it hurt even more on that day. It was like, you never did this. I should know better. But then on this day, it hurts even more. It hits you different,
Yeah. No, definitely. I think, even being in a relationship, like my partner and I really don't celebrate anything, but there's like this tiny piece of me that's like, is he gonna do something? Like,
yeah, like you want that surprise of like, we're not gonna do anything, but like if he did do something, it would be kind of nice, It's like we set ourselves up. It's like we tell ourselves like, I don't care, it doesn't matter, like, right. But is he gonna do something for me?
Yeah. And I got him, I think this was like a month or two ago. I was at Aldi and they had already pulled out like their Valentine's Day stuff. And so there was like this huge package of Skittles, like in the shape of a heart. It was $5. I was like, I'll get this, and this will be my Valentine's. It's been sitting in my closet for probably over a month, and he's got no idea. So,
And I think I don't want to like bash men, even though sometimes I do, but I feel like women are. I just feel like women, like again, I hate generalizing because it's not the same for everyone, but I think about myself. And I know, like, for me in a relationship, I always am thinking about my partner, like, so like I just like to make my partner feel special, even if it's just like I'll go shopping. And I was talking to a friend about this, like, not even related to Valentine's Day, but I feel like I'm the type of person that would do the surprising. And I think because I do it, I want someone to do it for me, but I don't want to have to ask. It's that whole, like, that meme out there of like, why can't men know I want flowers, but I don't want to have to ask for flowers because then it's not the same. I just want them to know that I want flowers. I don't want to have to tell them that I want flowers. And it's kind of true because I feel like for me, when I was in a relationship, if I would go out shopping of any kind, you can guarantee that 9 times out of 10, I would find something in that store for my partner as well, because I just liked to get them something, like I thought of them. It made me happy to get them something. But then it kind of, for me at least, I would do that all the time. And then after time, when I realized, like, okay, they never do this for me, like, it kind of sucks. Like, that feeling kind of sucks of every time I go to the store, not every time, but like 8 times out of 10, I go to the store and I come back home with something, even if it's the tiniest little thing, like, oh, I saw this like sticker that it's just the fact that you think about them, but then your partner never does that. And it's like, dang. And then when you have to bring it up to your partner of like, it'd be nice if you got me that, like, I can even remember, I know we're going off because we're talking about Valentine's Day, but even for Christmas, he would have no idea what to get me. And to me, it's like, damn, do you not know me at all? Like, like the fact that I would have to literally give you a list or else you would have no idea what to buy. It's just like, but I guess that goes kind of down to, what am I trying to say? Love language.
It's funny that you say that your love language is words of affirmation, but when you're in a relationship, you do gift giving.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and I think that it's true. One, I think everyone's love language is everything. Like, like, I think you obviously have ones that are higher, but at the end of the day, like, I think we all like all of them to some extent. And secondly, I read something somewhere that said your love languages obviously change, and they typically change to what you didn't receive in either your last relationship or currently, or what you feel like you're lacking. So like for me, I think hearing how much you care about me is important because I did not get that. And it would have felt nice to hear, like, I care about you, you're valuable, blah, blah, blah. And then quality time, I felt like we never spent time together. So I think those are like my top two. But I agree. I think when I'm in a relation, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to put myself on a high pedestal, but like, I think I'm a pretty good partner. Like, I'm thinking back, like, I think I spoke great words of admiration. I've been seeing these TikTok videos that's like, what's your red flag? And they're like, yeah, tell me, because I know I don't got no red flags. And like, so I feel like now I'm that person, but I know I have red flags. But, I just am like thinking back, I'm like, I feel like I did pretty good words of maybe quality time, because I was starting to be like a little like, I don't want to be around you. But, like, I don't know.
I'm excited for you to get into a relationship again. So I can just experience this version of Karlie in a relationship. Let me just put that out in the universe. I'm very excited to see.
What version of Karlie?
This, like, this self-love, self-compassion, spirituality, this like bad bitch mentality.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if anyone can handle this, baby. No. Honestly, being in a relationship is scary. That's like, yeah, that's like, don't make me sad. What I was gonna say when we talked a couple days ago, and you were saying like, I really think about like you going on this journey. I don't know if you know, but that meant so much to me because I was like, I never stepped back to see myself like that, but like to know that someone else, I'm like, that made me feel good because I'm like, obviously, you know, when you're in it, like I still see like, you know, I struggle. I still have like some days that are hard and stuff, but like I guess seeing it from an outside of like you pretty much were telling me that you see growth. And like to me it's like, okay, like that's very validating that like you're like, Karlie, yeah, you're doing things. And I'm like, thank you. You know?
It feels nice to recognize.
Yeah, because sometimes it's hard, like when it's just you to see the change. Like, don't get me wrong, I know a lot has changed, but it's just different, you know? But we'll see. I don't know, man. I will say, like, I am at this point to where I'm very, like, I don't want to say very comfortable because there are times where I'm like, oh, I wish I had somebody, but I'm like becoming more and more content. And so I'm like, it's going to be so hard to be in a relationship. And I was talking to my therapist about this because one, I think it'll be hard because I'm worried about repeating and falling back into like becoming very like quote unquote submissive and kind of being like, oh yes, like you. I don't think that I will because of just what I've been through, but it's still a scary thought. But then the other scary thought is, what if it's really good? What if this goes really well? That's just as scary.
It is. I think sometimes more often than not, it's even more scary because that is like the unknown. The repeating the patterns, that's comfortable, that's safe. We know how to do that. We don't know how to be in healthy relationships. Like,
mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was just talking to like my therapist and she was like, yeah, you know, but I guess we'll find out, man. I guess we'll find out. Shamina, you'll know first. I know.
No, I won't, because I get told after the fact when large life events occur because you're working and you told me not to message you when you're working.
That's true. Okay, people. I'm going to need y'all's opinion on this because Shamina here, I used to text her all the time at work, and one time she yelled at me, Karlie, you can't send me texts like that when I'm working because it pops up on my screen and that ruins my session. And I was like, oh shit, okay, I'm not doing that no more. I'm not going to have Shamina yell at me. So I stopped texting her. And then she's like, you could have texted me. And I was like, you were working. And she's like, so my phone's on Do Not Disturb. And I was like, last time. So you know what? You be going back and forth. And people, I need to hear from you. Would you have texted Shamina? You were probably the second person.
That is not.
I'll make you first for next time.
Priority numero uno.
All right.
No, I know. I used to, I didn't realize that I could put my laptop on like do not disturb. So, I'd get like the badges that would come through and I'd like glance over and then go back to session, glance over, whatever. And it was really annoying and distracting. One day I was like, why don't you Google, can you put your laptop on do not disturb? And lo and behold, now I don't have those issues.
If your job wasn't so serious, I would probably text you random shit throughout the day, just like poop or something like that. But because I know your job's pretty serious, I feel like that's like disrespectful. But
that would be nice because then it's like oh ha ha ha, this is so like I had a God, what was it? I can't remember what I was in a group chat and I was asking somebody about something and they sent like this really like random outlandish thing and I was like, okay, ha ha ha. And she was like, oh sorry, I just need to laugh today. And I feel like that would be me because my job can be so serious. So it's like if I see random stuff or funny things, it's a nice break from the intensity.
All right, well, I'll keep that in mind then. I just never know, man. I just never know.
But you don't ask. I
True.
can't tell you.
Bringing it back to Valentine's Day, as we were talking, I thought of a question. So for the single ladies out there or the ladies in the new relationships, what are our thoughts on when it comes to sex? Like, in sense of safety. I feel like I'm extra cautious because of my previous job. Me and you were talking about this.
What is that?
Like
Valentine's Day?
Oh, I'm sorry, because like Valentine's Day, I feel like people get lonely, so maybe they're gonna go out, meet a man, or like, you know.
Or a person.
Huh?
I said, or a person.
Or absolutely person of either, any, all. But you know what I mean? Like that's how I thought of it for Valentine's Day though, because you know sometimes you'd be like, let's go out. Although it's a Monday, so I don't know, but you never know. I just feel like I'm an extra cautious because of my last job that I worked at, where I'm like, I know Tampa be hot for them STDs, baby. Hot. So like, do we not care? Because I think we should. And if we don't, maybe we should talk about that.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. And I think that's a really important like topic to discuss with like potential partners or even being in like the dating realm and like how do you have those conversations with somebody so that way you are being safe and knowing how to protect yourself.
Yeah, and I'm putting this out there because I need y'all's help, because with me being out in the dating world, this may potentially happen at some point in my life. I would hope. And
you will be celibate forever.
Forever and ever. It's the way it was meant to be. But like how people who have had the conversation, how do you have the conversation? Do you just bring it up out of nowhere? Do you prefer it in person? Do you prefer it via phone call, text? Do you like make it jokey? Like, ha ha, you better get tested, boy, girl, them, you know? Like,
let me ask you a question because you are in the dating realm. Valentine's Day is coming up here hot. So why don't you ask somebody to be your Valentine?
that's a good question. Because I don't know if I want a Valentine.
That's valid.
But I'm all about girls, you know, asking and you know, taking that initiative. But here's my thing. I'm all about it, but I think when it comes to dating, especially with dating apps and how early on in the relationship it is, my concern is if I were to take that initiative of asking, planning, are they going to take that as the norm and then expect that for future of me initiating, planning? Because not that I'm against me doing it occasionally, but I'm the person who I want 50-50. Like, as much effort as I put in, I want to see you put in, and vice versa. Like, if I'm not putting in effort, then I don't expect you to. So like me occasionally, if you've been planning things, I would like to take on that and plan and say, hey, what are you doing next Saturday? Let's do something. And you know, I'm not saying it has to be all on the guy, but I don't want, sometimes there's a lot of interesting individuals out there on dating apps. A lot. I've experienced a lot in a short amount of time. they'll ask the craziest questions, like inappropriate and like right off the bat. So it's like, dude, like what kind of vibe are you trying to give off? Like that's weird. Some dude was like, what's your best features? Like the third text in, I was like, I don't know, I haven't recently sat down to think about my best features. And he's like, well, what have the guys that you've dated said? What? That's weird to me. I didn't like it.
To each their own.
I didn't like it, especially because it was like jumped in. So anyways, I got off topic. What were we talking about? I totally forgot.
Do you have ADHD?
I mean, not diagnosed.
Well, you do have a licensed therapist sitting on the other
asking if I have it. But what were we talking about?
I asked you why, that you could ask somebody to be.
Oh yeah. I'm not opposed to that. I would do it. I just don't think I want a Valentine this year.
I can dig it. Sometimes I feel like it's so much work, like because there's this expectation on Valentine's Day, like some things have to be done. It has to be like this grand gesture, this big thing. It can't just be like, hey, I love you. Here's a card, or it has to just above and beyond. And I think it gets like more and more and more. I can even remember, I think it was back in like 2009, they had released this movie called Valentine's Day, and it had like Taylor Swift, Taylor Lautner, like all this whole star-studded celebrity cast, and it was like this huge to-do of asking people to be your Valentine and going above and beyond. And I think that can be really exhausting, because it almost like diminishes the small moments of connection that we have with our partner, and it sensationalizes that these grand gestures have to be achieved in order for your relationship to be romantic or successful.
I 100% agree with you. And I think like as you were talking, I was thinking like for me what I would think of as like an ideal date, or like, and I'm thinking for like Valentine's Day. But as we've talked, words of affirmation are really big to me. So like, I don't think people realize this, but whenever I receive a card from someone for any occasion, when there's meaningful words put in that means so much to me. And I save those cards, and I have a container that I just keep those in, because I like to look back on them, because that means so much to me. Like that is a whole gift in itself. And I really like homemade gifts. So like for me, I feel like a great Valentine's like present or like to do would be someone giving me a card, like telling me all of their feelings for me, us having like a picnic, like a little picnic, and like painting, and like having like a paint sesh, like the TV, chill music on the TV, and just like chocolate covered strawberries or a chocolate fountain, something like that, but like that's very like I would prefer that over going to like a dinner that's like $200. To me, that would be like A1. But obviously having their attention too, like
definitely focused. Just a day for the two of you.
Yeah, but I do think that like there is a lot of pressure with Valentine's Day. And I think all that pressure just builds up to disappointment at the end of the day. Whether your partner didn't do enough for you, or, didn't do anything at all, or I just think it leads to disappointment, because again, in our heads, like you said, we have this grand gesture plan, like we're gonna wake up to a red carpet and flower petals and be carried off on a pedestal and not have to lift a finger all day, and they'll rub our feet and our back, and we won't have to move an inch, and they'll serve us, and like then that doesn't happen.
That's a really high expectation there. Oh my God.
But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes people go extreme and then it just ends up getting let down.
Well, even putting like too much effort in. So like, not doing enough, or it's not like romantic enough, but even going like too above and beyond, because it's usually I think in hetero relationships, we see more like female doing some grand gesture for the female, but I also think there's kind of this like equality of like the females will also do something in those types of relationships. But it's like, what if your partner outdoes you? And then, then are you feeling like guilty or ashamed? Like, I should have done more. I needed to do more. Like, now they don't think that they care about me more than I care about them, sort of thing. And it's just
or like awkward. It's like awkward and not gonna lie, I can say from experience, there have been times where like it would be a situation I had went above and beyond, and then I got like something tiny, and I was like, oh, thank you. But a part of me was like, damn, bro, I just did all this for you, and now it seems like doing something for me is like a hassle. Like going back to Christmas, for me, I never had to ask. Granted, it was always an awkward situation because he didn't really celebrate Christmas. I loved celebrating Christmas. He said he didn't want gifts. I said, no, I'm not getting you gifts. So, but I never had to ask him. And I would always come up with these like really cool ideas and be like, oh, I know he really enjoys this. I'm going to get this in grade. And then, like I said, I'd have to literally give him a list. And that was towards the end when like it was kind of like clear of like, like this is like a mutual thing, and I think it's not about, I think you said it right, it's not what you're giving, but it's the effort, and the fact that I put all this effort in to think of these really badass gifts for you, and then I'm literally having to give you like a cheat sheet to what to get me because it's like you're not putting any effort in to think about it. I think, like you said, it's more of like the effort of not like, oh, well, I got him, this was $200 and he got me a $50. Like, no, that's not it. It's the thought of like, okay, I have to hold your hand through this whole process. That's not fun. Bro, my nose.
I think that you should celebrate your partner all year round and not just like signify one day. That's what you got an anniversary for. That's the one day where you can like, that's your Valentine's Day in relationships, is like the anniversary, and you guys can connect and come together. But I think just with the pressure, the sense, the romanticization. Did I say
romanticization? I don't know
that word. And the like commercialization. Why do I keep thinking these really big words I can't say? Those things, it almost just kind of, for people who do want to celebrate, or it is meaningful to them, it almost kind of like takes away those moments because it's expected like everybody's supposed to do that kind of thing. And I think when we're younger, it does mean so much more because that's how we're like defined in our social groups. Like, oh, this is like an outwardly display of how much people love and care about us, and we need that like satisfaction when we're younger to know like we're accepted, we're loved, and so we like those things. And as we get older, if you like it, fantastic, great. But I think it almost kind of loses its value for a lot of people as we age and mature.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head, or whatever that saying is, of like, I think if we value our partners and put in that effort all year round, Valentine's Day doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't want to say it doesn't mean anything, but not to the extent of some people who I think maybe are in unhappy relationships or are single or whatever their scenario may be. But I think that, like you said, of if we're putting in that effort every single day, it's not going to matter. I feel like you're less likely to have disappointment on either end of the relationship.
Yeah. But I think also playing devil's advocate, like I do know some couples who, they're very like secure and happy in the relationship, but they also celebrate Valentine's Day, and it's just kind of like just like any other holiday, so to speak. But so I think we place a lot of emphasis on it, but I also think that people just kind of genuinely enjoy like the day, like, hey, it's another reminder, and to be intentional about it. So like, yes, it can be feeling like this pressure and force, but also like on the other side, I can see it like, oh, well, I just want to love you a little extra today, and like, let me show you that kind of thing. And this like helps to remind us like to slow it down and to tune into our partners.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, because I think Blue, my Valentine, I give her love every day. Come here, mama. And she will probably come here, look in the camera. Look at it. She will, I think, get extra cuddles, but I give her cuddles every day. And it's just because I want to show her a little more how much I love her, because she is my heart and soul. And she will forever be my Valentine. She's the real MVP.
So what do you tell for Blue for Valentine's Day?
Girl, we are going to go big. She gonna get some treats. She gonna get some toys. She like blankies. Maybe I'll get her a new blankie. We'll have extra cuddle time in the morning. She's a cuddler, especially because it's been cold lately. So she likes to curl up in her little Cinnabon ways, and just right in my little crease of like, when you do like a spoon, she's the little spoon, I'm the big spoon. So I'll just give her a few extra cuddles, but I tell her every single day how much I love her and that she's my whole heart. And I think she knows it. I think she knows it too, because she gets away with a lot. A lot. She's spoiled, and sometimes she's a little butthole.
So for our viewers, going back to what Karlie had said earlier in the episode of like, oh yeah, when I'm in a relationship, like whenever I go out shopping, I'll buy my partner something. Karlie also does this with her dog.
I do.
I went to Marshall's and I got Blue X, Y, and Z. I got this for Blue. I got this for Blue. Karlie, what?
Even my roommate's like, stop buying her toys. She doesn't need them. She destroys them. And I'm like, but I know she likes them. I know she appreciates it. It makes her feel special. And no joke now, like every time I come home from the store, she has to sniff the bag. And I think it's because she's like, is there something there for me? Is there? And I will say, as of lately, I've been trying to be good and not getting her, but I think it's about time she gets another new toy. Little booty.
You need to start making her treats or making her toys so it's made with love.
I need to share a really funny story right now. So back in the day, like a year and a half ago, I had gotten into a phase of making homemade dog treats.
Oh, I know where this is going.
This is at this point, me and my ex were, I want to say, over, but still living together. He had gone out or whatever, hanging with friends, drinking. I made these dog treats, okay? They're like a golden...
Where the story's going, people. Can you see?
They're like golden brown, whatever. I put them in a baggie. I literally label the bag dog treats, because even before he got home, I was hanging with some friends and I was like, I bet you I need to label these dog treats. My ex is gonna try to eat them. Is there a way?
I got it.
Okay, I'll restate. So, do I just re-say the story?
Just keep talking. You're fine.
Okay, so I said, he is going to eat these, I guarantee. I write dog treats on them. What happens? This man comes home. I don't think I was in the kitchen at this time. Then, though, I go and look, and he's biting one. And he's like, what is this? And I was like, a dog treat. Like, at this point, I'm annoyed. Like, I'm just over it. Any conversation we would have, I would just be over it. I'm like, it's a freaking dog treat. Like, read the bag. And he's like, oh my God, I thought it was chicken nuggets or fried chicken. And I'm like, what the hell? He like immediately spit it up in the trash. And that gave me a lot of happiness because I knew, like, I literally could predict his actions because of how it has always been, you know, that I was like, he's going to come home drinking. He's going to want to eat. He's going to see these, so I need to label it dog treats. And even then, he still did it. And it was pretty freaking funny.
Speaking of eating things that aren't supposed to be edible for humans, I'm like 90% sure that I remember this story correctly. And my mom has 2 sisters, and she's older than her 2 sisters. So she was like watching them, and I'm pretty sure that she convinced them that rabbit poop was candy. They were like super.
Why?
I don't know.
That's messed up.
It was either that or like cat food was candy. One or the other. I can't remember.
I so hope it was cat food because that's okay. My dad used to work at Publix when he was like a teenager, and they used to try the dog treats on purpose to see how they tasted. That's my dad.
My dad would do.
I know. And they would like rate them on like how they were. And they'd be like, oh, I would prefer milk bone. You know, like, but funny.
Your ex's predictable behavior.
Yeah. My ex, I can. I was just on a roll, bro. I was on a roll. Yeah. Anyways, though, this whole episode's supposed to be about Valentine's Day and love. And you know what? Sometimes our Valentine is our dog, or our fish, or our cat, or our bird, or our gerbil.
Selves.
Hell yeah! I was going to say that earlier in the episode, and then it just flashed by me. But yeah, if you don't have a Valentine, put that effort and love that you would have given to your Valentine into you. Get your nails done. Get a pedicure. Take a bath. Journal. Watch a movie. Eat a lot of food.
Flowers. Some chocolate.
I've gotten bad, but for a while I had a weekly routine that every Sunday I would buy myself flowers. I've kind of fallen off. I think maybe because it's like winter time. I don't know. But every Sunday I would get my, not like a big thing or anything, and then I would put it in a vase and put it around the house. And then every Sunday I bought myself some flowers. I think it's important. Celebrate yourself.
Exactly. Do yourself up.
I was literally just say we deserve it.
Indubitably.
So I hope everyone has a good Valentine. This is Valentine's Day. I've had a lot of questions throughout, so I hope that I can have y'all's help because your girl out here need it. Do we have any other questions, Shamini?
I don't think so. We hope you all had a good Valentine's Day, as this episode will be released the day after Valentine's Day, by the way.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Yes. Mama G.
Gallagher. Oh.
You're just something else today.
My nose, man.
I don't have any questions. Karlie needs your help. Answer her questions.
answer my questions that I have throughout. How do you celebrate your Valentine's Day? How do you talk to men on dating apps? How do you deal with it all? Help me.
Help a girl out. Much appreciated.
Yeah, are we feeling full?
Are you?
Look at this. I think it's so cool.
You have such like, I feel like we completely switched. Last week I had so high energy with Jessica and Emily. And then this week I'm just so tired and you're like
Oh, all right.
you need to go dancing for Valentine's Day. How about that?
I need to what?
Go dancing.
I like dancing. I'm bad at it.
Dancing.
I like it.
Dun, 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 dun. All right. We'll see you all same time, same place next week.
Bye.
Bye.